So considering my Ring of Honor review went nearly 20 minutes, this one might be a long one. Sorry guys. Hello and welcome to FCTR. I am Ewan McQuaid and today I am talking WrestleMania 38 Night 1, the Saturday edition. Today I'm going to run down the card. I'm going to tell you my thoughts and feelings on every match, every angle, everything that happened on the show, the way a review works. Now first of all, if you haven't hit subscribe for more great wrestling content, I will have a review of Impact Multiverse of Matches up today as well, and then WrestleMania Night 2 tomorrow. So shall we jump into the review with a few spicy takes? I do apologise in advance. So first of all, I want to commend WWE for an amazing stage design. I think it looked really cool. It was really different from, typical pay-per-views, and it harkened back to me a lot to like the late 2000s, yes, the early 2010s, those sort of WrestleMania stages, maybe because there was a big star, and that reminded me of WrestleMania 25. That could have been it. But yeah, I think the stage looked really cool. As we opened the show, we got Brantley Gilbert singing America the Beautiful. I don't know who he is. My knowledge of country music ends at Casey Musgraves, but he did a fine job. Then we got into the show. We got, opening video package with Mark Wahlberg, of all people. Nothing against Mark Wahlberg. He's not Sully, but okay, Mark Wahlberg. And yeah, it was a very weird way the show started, because then we got the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders just sort of doing a dance. I thought it was going to play into, someone's entrance, but no, they did a dance. Very good dancers. Okay. Then we got the opening match. We got Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Usos. Now this was, to me, a very bland way to open the show. This match was a bit uninspired. Nothing of interest, in the story beforehand could get me engaged in this match. It was a SmackDown TV match on the opening of WrestleMania, which ended in a really upsetting moment when the Usos went to jump on Rick Boogs, who was going to double Samoan drop them, and his knee gave way, and he is injured. It has since been announced that he is injured and will need surgery. Usos picked up the win, and yeah, thoughts with Rick Boogs. Usos are still the champs. They will probably come out with Roman tomorrow night. Yeah, uninspired way to open the card. Bit of a letdown. Then we got Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin in this first hour of the show, which really could have been called WrestleMania SmackDown. If these matches were on WrestleMania SmackDown, I wouldn't have complained, because they don't feel WrestleMania worthy, the opening match, and then McIntyre versus Corbin, because this was bog standard Baron Corbin, working over Drew. Drew makes his comeback. Drew did a nice dive. He did a nice dive to the outside. And yeah, he won. He kicked out at the end of days. He's the first person ever to kick out at the end of days, which is strange. Weird fact that no one's kicked out of that before. And yeah, Drew won. I think he'll go straight to Roman. I think it'll be Roman's first challenger post-Mania. And yeah, he takes his sword, threatens Madcap Moss, and cuts the ring ropes. I don't know. I don't know for some of this stuff. But yeah, this first hour was a bit of a drag. Maybe not hour, maybe it felt like an hour, but you know what I mean. Okay, something else to mention that I don't remember. Maybe they did this last year. I can't remember. There were so many promos, like long video packages for matches for tomorrow night. I don't remember them doing that last year, but they were good video packages, but it kind of took me out because they were quite long, and I get you've got to promote tomorrow night to WrestleMania, but yeah, they felt really long. There was a Bobby Lashley one, there was an Edge one, there was the Roman Brock one. There was a lot of these promos, and yeah, maybe just cut those out. Trim them for time. This is a 4-hour show, okay, people? Then we got surprise of the night, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul. Now, this match I started off rolling my eyes at this. I really did. After those first 2 matches, I was like, I cannot be arsed for another mid-card filler feud with a celebrity in there. But props to everyone in the ring, and particularly props to Logan Paul, because he was great. He was great in this match. He's a really good heel. I think he's got it down. When he did the 3 Amigos and hit the frog splash doing the Eddie, it was so good. He got mega heat from the crowd, which I thought was great. Really great stuff from Logan Paul. And he's no slouch in the ring as well. He hits an okay frog splash, which is saying something. He hits an okay 3 Amigos. So, yeah, he's not Bad Bunny yet, but he's getting there. And it was a fun match overall. You know, it was a bit standard tag team stuff, but Dominic looked quite good in this. He didn't have too many botches or anything like that. Ray looked good, The Miz looked good, and most importantly, Logan Paul looked good, which is, it's a celebrity match, so you want the celebrity to look good. I think this was a solid win, personally. Really, really enjoyed this. And then the end saw The Miz turn heel on Logan Paul, which again, Miz versus Logan Paul, sure, but that wasn't the way I thought it'd go. That's a bit of a weird celebrity match, but it is what it is. And yeah, good stuff all around. This is where the show hit its stride for me and really got into that second gear. Right, okay, I said the show got into its second gear, but before that we had the probably weirdest, strangest moment on the entire show. Stephanie McMahon gets introduced. She comes down to the ring. She comes down to the stage. On the stage. And she's cutting this promo about being together, then, now, forever together, all that stuff. And hypes up someone she's going to introduce. Won gold medal in Tokyo. And it's obvious it's Gable Stevenson. And then Gable Stevenson comes out, which, okay, fair enough. Maybe they're going to give hints of where he's going. What feud is he going to build? Is he going to start a feud with someone who's going to get interrupted? Is he going to, sit ringside for a match or something like that? No. He just comes out, does a pose, waves, and then goes. What was the actual point in this entire bit? Like, honestly, why? Have Gable Stevenson debut and destroy someone on Raw. This was weird. This was really strange, and I don't know why they did it. Let's move on. Then we got a clip from Young Rock, the show that I haven't actually watched yet, and I don't know if I will. I will try. Then we got Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. This match was great. I really enjoyed this. I think this match overall was one of the most solid of the night. It was probably my second favourite match on the card. It had great storytelling. I liked the opening that it threw back to the SummerSlam encounter between the two, and I liked a lot of the callbacks, a lot of the details in this, in that Becky kept reversing Bianca. She kept, countering every move. Belair had hit one, Becky would then counter it if Bianca tried it again. And it was almost like a chess match, this one. Becky kept getting frustrated because she couldn't put Bianca away. And then it was sort of like, it was just getting the one up on each other, and Bianca's the one who got the one up on Becky, backflipped out of the corner, got her in the KOD, hit the KOD for the win. I thought this was a really great match. Bianca Belair is on such a hot streak for WrestleMania. Build a streak, I think. You haven't got a streak at Mania. Let Bianca Belair be that streak, please. I think that'd be great if she does open challenges about beating the streak. Oh, I think that'd be good. I'm pretty sure she's undefeated. She didn't have a match before Sasha. We'll see. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, this was a really solid match. Really great stuff. And the best women's match on the card. Hands down. Then we got another Weird video package just hyping Sasha Banks, not Naomi. Would have thought, considering they're a team, you'd hype them both, but just a Sasha video package. Okay. And then we got Seth Rollins. He comes out, he's got a big choir doing his "oh," that stuff. And he gets in the ring. Love his outfit. It's really strange. I really like it, but yes. All Seth. Just give me all the Seth, because I think Seth is doing the best work of his career at the moment. The video package, though, showed how shit that ending was of Vince just giving him the match. But anyway, that's a tangent. He's waiting in the ring. A lot of chance for Cody. Lights go down. Wrestling has more than one royal family. Kingdom hits. And the crowd goes wild. I go wild. I nearly cry. I'm so happy to see Cody. Cody's one of my favourite wrestlers ever. And he comes up out of the Cody Vator, whatever you call it. And he's got all the American Nightmare stuff. It's just fantastic. I loved seeing Cody back so much. And he looked determined. He looked emotional. And yeah, I think they had the best match of the night. They got a lot of time for this match. And it was incredible. I love that Cody's still doing the pedigree teases. Like, he knows us AEW fans. We are watching him. Doing the pedigree teases. And they just worked a really solid match. I like that they told the story on commentary about Dusty's son versus Dusty's number one student. I thought that was amazing. I think that could play into even more stuff down the line. And Cody hitting all his moves. I'm not too sure about Seth kicking out the crossroads on his first go. Like, you want to protect some of his finishes. He kicked out the Cody cutter as well. But it was just fantastic. Both guys worked really well together. And, you know, you got suicide dives. You had a reverse superplex Falcon Arrow combo, which looked brilliant. And yeah, Cody hits the crossroads, does the Dusty punches and the elbow, the bionic elbow, hits 3 crossroads, wins in an absolute WrestleMania classic. This is one I'm going to remember for a long ass time. I love this match. This is on my list of matches of the year. And yeah, props to Seth, props to Cody, and I'm optimistic that Cody will be booked like a megastar in WWE. But again, there's a little bit of doubt, but fantastic match. Check this one out if you check out any on the night. Then we got a really lovely recap of the Hall of Fame with the Steiner brothers, Queen Sharmell, Vader's family, Undertaker. I feel like I'm missing. Oh, and then Shad Gaspard, of course, the tragically lost Shad Gaspard. It was really nice stuff. I hadn't watched any of the Hall of Fame, so to see some of the speeches, some of the elements of the speeches and all that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Then we got an attendance announcement. Can someone, I don't know if we do this because I don't go to many big sporting events like football, like, you know, cool things like that. I don't think we do that in the UK. I've always wondered about this. Is this a thing that just WWE do, or do like NFL announce attendances and NHL teams, NBA teams? Do they all announce attendances at stadiums? Is that a thing? Let me know down in the comments because I'm really intrigued. But it was 70,000 and something. Let me look. 77,899. That took a while to get to. I know numbers. Yeah, a lot of people in it. Then we got Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. The video package for this was really good. It managed to tell a very cohesive story, considering the story has been basically non-existent on TV. And it got me hyped for the match. The match itself was a bit messy. I get I know a lot of Ronda's matches feel like real fights. There's a lot of flurries. There's a lot of, sort of throws, just unscripted throws. Like the arm drag looks ruthless, the set of 3, and some of the submissions over the top rope. But it felt a bit like they weren't communicating correctly for some of the spots. And this match didn't quite click. I don't know why, but it just didn't feel... It didn't have the fire that I thought it would, like their Survivor Series match did. I think their Survivor Series match is far superior to this. And the finish was really... Ronda got a visual win over Charlotte in the armbar. I think she got 2 actually. And the ref was down. There was a ref bump, of course. And Charlotte just hits a big boot and pins her. What? A big boot? Are you serious? On Ronda Rousey? Like, Ronda Rousey is the baddest woman on the planet and she gets put away by a big boot? No. This was a really limp finish. What is it with them giving Ronda Rousey bad finishes at WrestleMania? Honestly, bad finish, sucked the air out of this match. Any of the fire that it had got taken away after this finish. It was not great. Yeah, bit of a wet fart, this one. Like I said, not bad match, but it just didn't have it. It didn't have that thing that makes you get invested, because I was not invested in this in the slightest, as much as I love Ronda Rousey. Yeah, bit of a letdown, this one. Then we got another promo that hyped up Bobby Lashley, who's facing Omos tomorrow, and we got a rundown, I think, of the card, the entire card for the night. This night looks better than tomorrow. I'm a little bit dreading some of the matches tomorrow. That women's tag in particular, I'm kind of dreading Lashley Omos, because I don't know if that'll be any good. Edge and Styles I think will be great. Lesnar Reigns I think will be great. And I'm blanking. I think Knoxville Zayn I think will be funny, if nothing else. And McAfee Theory could be good. I have hopes for those, but Omos, Lashley and the women's tag, good God almighty. Then we got the main event, the KO show with Steve Austin. Kevin Owens comes down to the ring. He talks down Texas, okay, and then says all these things, these nasty things about people from Texas and about the state in general. And then Stone Cold comes down, he gets a massive pop, takes his seat, and they have a little bit of a promo battle in that Austin says his cool things. And then, crucially, Kevin Owens challenges Steve Austin to a match right now. A no-holds-barred match. And Austin accepts, gets a ref down, and they have a match. It was like a 20-minute, 15-minute match, something like that, where they brawl in the crowd. There's a few chair spots and stuff like that. Austin gets all his stuff in. They drive his buggy to the top of the ramp. Suplex on the outside. That looked a bit nasty. Poor Austin. And then, Austin wins, because of course he does. He stunners KO. Wins. But this is where my big hot take lies. This match should in no way have main evented this show. Not in the slightest. Austin didn't put over Kevin Owens. If anything, I think Kevin Owens looked bad coming out of this. It was a nostalgia pop. A surprise nostalgia pop, because no one knew it was going to be Austin's last match. And it's the main event of WrestleMania. There was literally a match. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, crowning a new champion. That should have been the main event. This had no business whatsoever being the main event. This to me, right, and this might be hyperbolic to some, this would be like Goldberg main event in SummerSlam with the angle with Dolph Ziggler. That's what this felt like to me. This would be like Sting main eventing All Out against MJF and beating him. I'd be angry about that. This, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm not a child of the Attitude Era, that I don't have the same connection to Steve Austin. I understand his significance in wrestling history, of course, but I don't have that connection. So to me, this feels like, oh, it's a nostalgia pop. It's a nostalgia act. I don't think this should have been the main event whatsoever. This should have maybe opened the show. I think this opening the show, get the fans going, get the huge pop for Austin, get the win, sure thing. But being in that top slot didn't sit right with me. And maybe that's me being a miserable bastard, but which it probably is. But I didn't think the match was anything special either. I thought it was standard Brawl 101. Yeah, I just don't know. This wasn't for me. This felt so out of place, main eventing the show. And that's all I can say about that. I just don't think it should have been there. It should have been Becky versus Bianca. 100%. And looking back on the show in retrospect, even more so, because that win, the win of Bianca, feels almost overshadowed by Cody coming in. I think having Cody in the middle, getting that huge reaction, Bianca at the end, getting the huge reaction to her winning the belt and the title change, and then Austin opening the show, is a much better structure. I don't think this show was structured very well at all, because you had these two filler matches open the show of Corbin and McIntyre and Boogs, Nakamura and the Usos. Those filler matches should have been spaced out in between the big pops, and I feel like the big pops were sort of all at the end. It just, I don't know, it's not there for me. I know everyone else is loving the Austin return. Me, no, not for me this. And it left me on a sour note, this. It did. I think that's, again, me being a miserable bastard, and I could go on about this forever. I don't think it deserved this spot. I don't think it deserved as long as it got. I don't think, surely Austin would want to put someone over on the way out, and he didn't. Okay, Undertaker didn't as well, but, I don't know. Yeah, left me on a sour note, this. And looking back at the show, I feel like I'm going to be one of the harsher wrestling YouTubers on this show, because I know a lot of people really enjoyed this, but for me, there were only sort of 2 matches that were great, and that was Becky and Bianca and Seth Cody. I think there were bright spots in the Austin match, there were bright spots in the Charlotte Ronda match, and there were bright spots in the Miz Mysterio match. But on the whole, I didn't think this was particularly great for 4 hours of programming. So yeah, overall, I'm going to give this a 2.5 out of 5. That might be a bit harsh. And it's mainly those 2 matches. I think they were outstanding. But yeah. That's me. That's my take. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Give me the heat for not liking the Austin stuff. Give me the heat down in the comments. And hit subscribe as well if you're going to, verbally attack me for not liking Steve Austin's return. At least subscribe. Do us that favour. Let me know your thoughts on the event down in the comments below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.